All right, we are going to begin today in a comfortable seated position. Cross-legged is just fine. If you would like to do a half or full lotus, if that's part of your practice, go for it. Now, when you're ready, we're just going to begin by linking our breath with our motion. So with your inhale, we're going to take our arms up overhead and exhale, hands through heart center. Inhaling all the way up and exhaling through. Good. Maybe you send your gaze up with your hands if you'd like a little neck stretch. And exhale, hands through center. Good. Moving with your breath. Just a nice way to center the mind and to drop into the body, linking our breath with our motion. Once more. Beautiful. We'll pause here, hands to heart center. Just take a nice deep inhale, exhale breath. Now we're going to plant our right palm down as we take our left arm up and overhead, getting a nice side body stretch. And inhale, come up through center. Exhale, up and over opposite side. Just gently beginning to bring some movement into the spine. Keep both of your sits bones glued to the mat as you move, so you're getting that nice lengthening through your rib cage and your side body. Let's go one more time each side. Good. And the next time that your right palm is down, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. If you'd like to take the stretch deeper onto the forearm, feel free, but only if you're able to keep both sits bones planted. And to keep it nice and gentle, I'm just going to stay up on my palm. You can choose to send your gaze skyward, or you can keep your gaze directly out in front of you. Nice inhale, exhale breath wherever you are. And slowly we'll change, coming up through center, opposite side, and hold. Round your top shoulder back a bit. Option to send the gaze skyward. Option to come down to your forearm if you choose. Deep inhale, exhale. And change. We'll come up through center. Now from here, you can keep your palms gently resting on your side, and we're just going to gently drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. Noticing if you're trying to bring that shoulder up to meet it, don't worry about that. Let that soften and invite your right shoulder to relax. Deep inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Inhale up and exhale, drop it left. Nice, deep breathing. Be gentle with yourself during your practice today. Just enjoy these movements and stay connected to the breath. Good, we'll come back through center, and this time send your gaze straight up. And then we'll come back through center and send it straight down. Good. From here, we're just going to roll the head from side to side. You can stay here, or if it feels okay on the neck, you can take it for a little half circle around and back forward. Last time. Good. This time we'll come all the way up through center and find a little exercise right here. We're just going to take our arms out nice and wide. Spread your wings. Feel as if someone was pressing your palms towards the back of the mat. Good. Now from here, either arm on top, you're just going to give yourself a nice big hug. Squeeze tight and then pull your shoulders down. Gentle tuck of the chin, just so that the neck is nice and long. Good. With your next breath, open your arms nice and wide once more. Spread your wings. And now opposite arm on top. Let's see if you were paying attention. Big squeeze, and then pull your shoulders down away from the ears. Just an ever so slight tuck of the chin. Deep breath in. And out. Good. With your next breath, we'll open those arms up, shake them out this time. And then we'll move to the front of the mat, coming into tabletop pose. Tabletop pose, spreading our fingers nice and wide, shoulders right above the wrists, and your hips are right above your knees. Now to start, we're just going to wag our hips left to right. Move slow. Become aware of any sensations through your hip joint. Just breathe into that space. In our hips, we tend to store a lot of tension and tightness, and so this is going to feel really good, just moving into that hip joint, getting some movement, getting some circulation. Nice. Good, and then we'll meet back in center as you're ready. And from here, we're just going to drop our belly and softly lift our gaze. Inhale, breath. And then an exhale breath, rounding tailbone towards the forehead as we round into the spine as well. And then moving with your breath, we're going to inhale to rise. And exhale to round. Good. Just take it through a few times. Inhale. And exhale. Last round. Beautiful work. We'll meet back in center, and now we're going to take our right hip out as we just take a little hip circle. Now you can keep these circles small and just kind of circle around the knee area, or we can take them bigger and send our seat back towards our heels. Just explore what feels good in your body. One more time all the way around. And we'll meet back where we started in tabletop pose. Now from here, you're going to press down through all 5 fingertips actively as we flip the top of the left hand down onto the mat, getting a nice little wrist stretch. Breathing deeply here. Good. Just go for one more breath. And then we'll come forward and just shake that off. And then we'll plant the left palm, spreading left fingertips wide as we flip onto the top of that right hand. Just a couple deep breaths, sending some love to that wrist joint. This feels great if you do a lot of typing or a lot of weight-bearing activities on the wrists. Awesome. From here, shake that out. And we'll plant that palm as well. And then from here, we're just going to tuck our toes, lift our hips, and press up and back into our first downward facing dog. Now, if you're familiar with this pose, then you can just begin to pedal out the feet, bend the knees, and bring any organic movement that you'd like. If you're newer to your down dog, then just take a moment to look up at me. You want your body to look like an upside down V position. Now you can bend your knees as much as you need to, and there's no worries about how close your heels are to the mat. In fact, let's all take an inhale breath here. We're going to lift onto the balls of the feet. And then with your exhale, bend your knees and send your seat back towards your heels. Good. Take an inhale breath. And then with an exhale, we're just going to straighten into the legs a bit. Again, remember, you can always keep that micro bend in your knees. Sending your gaze down between the feet, letting the head hang nice and heavy. Good. Now with your inhale breath, let's lift high onto the balls of the feet again. And exhale, just press those heels down towards the mat. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Last time, inhale. And exhale, press and hold. This time, let's bring the movement into the head, shaking it yes. And then shaking it no. Good. Take one more deep inhale, exhale here, enjoying this full body stretch. Good. And with our next inhale, we'll lift high onto the balls of the feet. This time we'll drop our knees to the mat and bring the big toes to touch behind us as we send the seat to the heels for a child's pose. Gently resting your forehead down towards the mat, maybe connecting to the mat. Nice deep breathing in and out through your nose. Just take some breaths here in your child's pose, just letting everything settle down, relax, and just focus on your breath. Let's take a final deep inhale, exhale breath together here. Good. With your next breath, we're going to slowly lift our gaze and send it forward between our hands. We're just going to keep the hands where they are as we extend our legs out long, lowering onto the belly. Good. Now from here, we're just going to pull the palms back beneath the shoulders, squeeze our elbows in towards each other, and pressing hip bones and toenails into the mat. With your inhale breath, we're going to lift chin and chest. I'm sending my gaze just to the top of my mat. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and I'm breathing. Hopefully you're doing the same. Good. Use your next inhale to press into your palms a bit more. See if you can lift your heart an inch higher off the mat for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Forehead down to the mat. This time we're going to send our arms behind us and interlace the fingers. Pull your fist down towards your feet, and then we're going to zip the feet together. Take an inhale and an exhale breath. Now with your next inhale, we're going to lift the fist, the chin, and the chest. Sending your gaze back to the front of the mat. With an inhale breath, we lift a little higher. And we're going to hold for 3. We're counting slow. For 2. And 1. Awesome job. Come all the way back down nice and slow. We'll release the hands and plant them beneath the palms. We're going to press up through a tabletop position, and we're just going to step the right foot forward. Now, if you need help to do that, if your foot lands further back, that's okay. Boop, help it up. Good. Now from here, keeping the palms planted, take a breath to send your heart forward. And then with your next breath, we're going to straighten into the front leg, coming into a little half split variation here. Now you want to keep your left hip above your left knee. We're going to flex our right toes back towards our face. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Take one more breath. Good. Let's pull forward. We'll plant our palms. We'll step that right foot back. We'll step the left foot forward. Help it up if you need it. And then take one breath here to send your heart forward. Breathe in. Good. Half split side 2. We'll straighten into that left leg. Right hip over right knee. Flexing those left toes back towards the face. Feeling it in the hamstring. Breathe deeply here. Good. Next breath, we'll pull back forward. We'll plant the palms and step our knees back to tabletop. From here, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back to our downward facing dog. But we're using this as a transition. We're going to look forward and take little baby steps forward all the way to the front of your mat, bending your knees as much as you need to, arriving with feet hip-width distance apart, and enjoying a nice deep inhale, exhale in your forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. I just noticed that I was trying to wrench my neck forward, so just try to shake it out. Try to let that go. Yes and no. Good. Now from here, release your arms down by your sides. We're just going to round up slow all the way to standing. Taking our arms up overhead, inhale, breath. And exhaling our hands through heart center. Just pause here, take a moment, take a breath. With your next breath, we'll inhale the arms back up overhead. And then exhale the hands to the hips as we take a nice big 4-foot step back with our right foot. Try to get your knee aligning over your ankle. It can be before it, but you never want it to go beyond it. So take a breath here in your high crescent lunge or Alanasana. You can bring your arms up overhead if and when you feel ready for that. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Spiral your pinkies inward and stand tall and proud through your spine. Take a deep inhale breath, micro bending into your back knee if you feel any pressure in your lower back. We've got one more breath. And now from here, we'll guide our hands to our hips, and we're going to pivot towards the right side of the mat, so all 10 toes are facing over that right edge. Now, as you're ready, we're going to interlace our hands behind our backs. First, begin by pulling the fist down, lifting the heart up. Inhaling here, and then exhaling to hinge from the hips as we come into a nice wide leg forward fold. Let your head hang heavy once more. If it feels okay on the shoulders to keep your fingers interlaced, you can take it deeper by pressing your palms towards each other. If that's too much, let the palms fall away, or you can even release the hands down to the ankles, the feet, the calves, whatever's available. Your choice. We've got 3 deep breaths here. Good. With your next breath, if your fingers are not interlaced, let's bring them back into that singular fist as we use the arms to lift us all the way up overhead. Gently releasing our arms up. And then arms come down back to the hips. We're going to pivot the toes to face forward and step the right foot up. From here, as you're ready, hands staying on the hips, we're just going to step our opposite foot back. High lunge, side 2. Bending into your front knee. Remember, you can bring that micro bend into your back knee as you need to, and also try to gently scoop the pelvis forward. Good. Hands can stay to the hips, or if and when you're ready, arms come up. Pull the shoulders back and down, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Nice deep breathing. Good, you're almost there. Final breath. Awesome job. A little different exit this time. From here, we're going to hinge forward and plant the palms, stepping your right foot back and pressing back to downward facing dog. We're going to stay here for 3 deep inhale, exhale breaths. Nice deep breathing here. Good, one more. Well done, friends. From here, look forward. We're just going to take a few steps forward and then come on to the seat. From there, we can extend the legs out long. We're going to keep the feet touching. We're going to flex the toes back towards the face, taking our arms up overhead. Inhale, breath. And exhaling to hinge and reach for the feet. Doesn't mean you have to grab them, though. Calves, ankles, whatever is available for you. Now we're going to take a moment here to flex our feet back towards our face, and then another breath in to really pull the heart towards the toes. Stay right here, take a deep inhale, and a deep exhale. Another deep inhale. And with your exhale, you have the option to round and release if that feels good. Otherwise, you can just stay upright with your heart shining forward. A few breaths here. Good. And with your next breath, just release any grip that you may have. We're just going to round up nice and slow. From here, we're just going to guide the bottoms of the feet to touch in a gentle butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. Now, the further your heels are away from the body, the gentler the stretch. So pull them in until you really feel this come into the hips, but keeping it gentle so you don't have to force it to your very edge. Now we're going to grab our feet and take a nice tall breath in. Exhale it out. Good. 2 more here. So we're using that leverage of the feet to keep our spine nice and tall. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Very nice. From there, when you're ready, bring the hands to the outer knees, guide the knees to touch in the center, and then extending the legs once more, scooting yourself forward if you need to, as we lie all the way onto the back and then hug our knees into our chests. Give yourself a great big hug for doing something good for yourself today and taking a little time out for this nice, relaxing practice. We will end our practice today with a gentle spinal twist. And so from here, we're simply going to drop both of our knees towards the right edge of the mat and just allow them to rest down. Now, from here, try to see if you can get both of your shoulder blades to touch down on the mat. If that means your knees are lifted a little bit, that's okay. Now, from there, we can cactus our arms, if that feels okay, or you can bring them out to a T with your palms planted into the ground. Final step, if you would like to, you can gently send your gaze in the opposite direction. Just take 3 nice deep inhales and exhales, relaxing into your twist. Noticing if you're tensing any part of your body here, try to soften with every breath. Good. Next inhale, we'll slowly guide our knees up through center, and then we'll slowly guide them over to the left, bringing both of the shoulder blades back down to the mat, relaxing through those knees, relaxing into the twist, and maybe you send your gaze in the opposite direction. Nice deep breathing. And with your next breath, we'll guide our knees back into center. And slowly, we'll extend our legs long. If your arms are out wide, maybe you keep them there. You can send them more down along your sides as well. But the point is, we're going to take up some space. And from here, our final step before our final Shavasana is we're just going to shake it out. Shake your body. Wiggle it out. Get that movement going. Wiggle it all out. Wiggle, wiggle, and release. Take a final breath with me here. And exhale into your final resting Shavasana. I'll take it with you. Got a little bit of time here, so just relax. Bringing your awareness down to your feet, soften through the toes. Feel the points of your ankles connecting to the mat. Bringing your awareness up the legs, the back of the calves and thighs. Stopping for a moment at the hips and just sending your breath there, inviting them to melt into the mat. Bringing your awareness up to the lower back, along the spinal column, and up into the shoulders. Everything is softening and relaxing. Feeling the back of your hands against the floor or the mat. Feeling each point of the arms that connect to the mat as well. And finally bringing the awareness up through the back of the skull, to the top of the skull. And now forward into the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, the space directly in between the eyes. Inviting all of these parts to soften. Ending with the jaw, relaxing and allowing it to soften. We'll take some time in our Shavasana and stillness and quiet, so enjoy and sink in. Now remember that you are always welcome to remain in your Shavasana as long as you would like. In fact, if you have the time, I encourage it. So please pause the video if you'd like to. If you're ready to end your practice with me, and we'll gently begin to wiggle our toes and touch each individual fingertip to our thumbs, bringing the awareness back to our physical bodies. Deepening your breathing. We'll rock the head from side to side. And then we'll reach our arms up overhead, point through the toes, reach through the fingers, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a great big hug. And then we'll roll over onto the right side. Your gaze is soft, or your eyes can remain closed, taking a breath here. Good. When you're ready, we'll slowly use our free hand to press ourselves back up, ending our practice the way we began, in a comfortable seated position. We'll guide our hands to heart center and gently bow in honor of our time on the mat today. It is truly an honor for me to guide you through it. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and be sure to subscribe to the Yogi Approved YouTube channel for more videos like this.